Okay, today's video is about how to apologize to your kids when you have accused them of something that they didn't do. And so here's the situation. I accused my kids of getting into the Nesquik that was in the cupboard, and I told them many times, not to go and get into food and stuff, and typically they would make a mess, or maybe they take the food into the bedroom and that may cause like some issue with insects or something like that. So I told them not to do it. Well, I saw a spoon in the sink and I thought I saw what was crystals, pink crystals from the strawberry Nesquik. So immediately I brought them into the kitchen and I said, hey, somebody got into the Nesquik, and one thing led to another, and I'm telling them, hey, one of you need to fess up to this because you guys gotten into stuff before, and now here's something that I see. Well, a little time passed, and of course neither one said that they were going to get into it. I didn't yell at them or anything like that, but I did tell them that I thought that they had gotten into it. Anyway, I was going into the refrigerator, and I noticed the refrigerator had like a pink, kind of a pinkish, reddish little, I guess, print of some sort. And I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I was eating hot Cheetos the other day, and then it just dawned on me. And I'm sitting there, I'm dumbfounded because, I'm recognizing that I was the one that touched a spoon that was in the sink that looked like dark crystals and everything. And I realized at that moment, boom, now I've accused the kids of something that they didn't do. So what did I do? I waited till both of them had finished doing whatever they were doing, brought them into the kitchen, and I explained to them the situation. I said, hey, I said that you had gotten into the Nesquik. I realized that it was me that had touched a spoon with hot Cheetos on it, and it looked like Nesquik. Now, what does that say? That says to me that my mind had been focused on the fact that I knew that they'd gotten into stuff before. And so my mind told me that what I was seeing was strawberry Nesquik, and it wasn't really that. It was really actually hot Cheetos. I think it's important that we let our kids know when we make a mistake, and that we were the ones that were responsible for that mistake. And so many times, especially growing up, adults, they never wanted to admit that they made a mistake. They never wanted to admit that they were sorry, that they did something that was wrong, and that, that the kids didn't see that they could make mistakes. It's important that kids grow up and understand that authority figures make mistakes. You see, that they're not perfect. No one's perfect. And I know that, the religious viewers and everything like that will go on a tangent and say, there's one person perfect, blah, 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 This is not that kind of channel, okay? There's no one perfect, all right? The universe is not perfect. There's chaos that's out there, There's optimal, and then there's non-optimal. All right? And the kids need to understand that, so that when they recognize that there's something that's wrong, they step up and say, that's wrong. That's not right. And I know that you're not perfect and everything, and so it's possible that you made a mistake. And also that you don't take ownership of something that wasn't your responsibility. It wasn't a situation where either one of my kids should have stood up and said, hey, I did that, when they didn't do it. And they didn't do that, which is good. They did not stand up and say, hey, I did that, when they didn't do that. So what I'd like to leave with you today is is that you have to be able to admit to your kids when you are wrong. And they should see that their parents are wrong sometimes. And how you deal with that. Because if they grow up thinking that it's okay to never be wrong, think of the kind of pressure that it puts on them. I can never be wrong. I must always be perfect because my parents are always perfect. And then also, when they grow up and they realize that their parents aren't perfect, think of what that does to them. Unrealistic expectations that we give to our kids and we force upon our kids because, we are just living life. So, I guess I was wrong. It won't be the last time, but I did it with a smile, and my kids, after it was over, they just said, "Thank you, Dad." And I think that's good enough for me.